Pelton with PeltonAdventures.com, and we are here to do an exterior walk around on our Fleetwood Class A motorhome here. So follow me. So what this RV has, much like most other Class A's, is a whole lot of storage down below, and this is called the basement. So what we're sending you off with is a stocked basement here. We've got 4 camping chairs in here. We've got a broom for you to be able to sweep up. In this clear box here, we've got some exterior grilling accessories and things that you might want outside, like lanterns and forks for doing the hot dogs over the campfire and those sorts of things. In this cardboard box here, we've got a table set up in here. We'll have a picture on the outside of that you'll be able to see when you rent. And then we've got a rug for out here to keep everything neat and tidy for you. Moving around the back, there are a couple more spots to store some things. Both of these have drains in them, so if you have wet things, this would be the place to put them. We've also got the propane tank right here. We'll send you off with a full propane tank. This will run the refrigerator, and it will also run the 2-burner stove in the inside. So we're going to send you off with a full one, and we're going to ask you to come back with a full one too. This one here, if you come close, we've got a thing you can open down there. Now what that is for is up in top here, we don't have to show you, but up in top there are plugs and there are also cable outlets. Some campgrounds have cable connections which gets connected on the other side, but if you wanted to hook a TV up to it and have a plug, you could have an outside TV, and then that hole in the bottom is where you'd run your cord out so you could keep the door shut so you're not running into it. Moving around the other side here, we have the license plate. It says Glamp It, because we're glamping in this, right? Behind it is where you fill up the fuel tanks, okay? So it's an 80-gallon fuel tank. We're going to send you off with a full one. We're going to ask that you fill it up when you come back. But there's where you fill up the fuel. This side is the not as much fun side as the other side. So what you've got in the rear wheel back is kind of the brains of the operation here as far as your hookups. So if you look in here, you're getting sent off with several hoses. If you come in close, we've got 2 white hoses. Those are your drinking water hoses, okay? Those are only to be used for drinking water. So when you hook up at a campground, you'll hook up to their fresh water, their potable water supply, and you'll connect into the RV here. We've also got a green hose in here. The green hose is not for drinking water. The green hose is for rinsing things off, rinsing things out, kind of like you'd use your outdoor garden hose. So white is for drinking water, green is not, okay? We've also got a box in here with a handful of different fittings that you may need to connect to different scenarios. So there's a sprayer, there's a splitter, there's a couple of adapters. So every campground's a little bit different in terms of what they may have for you to hook up. So we tried to make sure you'd have what you needed here. I've also got in here a whole bunch of coaxial cable, and that is for, as I mentioned on the other side, that's for actually hooking up to the cable TV at the campground if that's a feature. Now, a lot of campgrounds have Wi-Fi anyway. We do have the TV set up inside to be able to connect to Wi-Fi through an Amazon Fire Stick, and we've also got an antenna here. So the cable may or may not be needed, but it's here for you if you do need it. This section here has all of your hookups for your water and your sewer. Your water, and I'm going to do a more in-depth video on the water and sewer here that you can follow, but just to give you a general idea, the water gets hooked up right here to the yellow, and that will give you water inside of the RV. We're going to do another in-depth video when I do the hookup video on the electrical, but this is where it is too. So your electrical is this big wire here. If you come in close, you'll see that there is another drain in this one that can come out. You unscrew the cap off of it, and that gives holes to the bottom that you can run your cables, again being able to keep this door shut. This is your generator. It can get started from out here, but you've got to take the cover off and all that. It's easier to start from inside the vehicle, and I can show you that too. So what I tried to do was put the stuff that you're going to need for hooking up and all that on this side, because that's where everything is. On the other side in the basement, that's all the stuff that you're going to need for fun. That's all your camping stuff, your chairs, that sort of thing. So in here, we've got this box. That is your sewer connections. And then right next to it, you can see there is a sidewinder, and that is for keeping the flow correct coming out of your sewer lines when you're hooked up to a campsite that has sewer. You're not going to need that when you're just emptying in most cases, but that's all there for you. And then this box in the middle, I've got just an array of extension cords. So different campgrounds have different setups. You can hook up to 50 amp, which would be a full service on this. 30 amp, you'd be able to run quite a few things, but not everything. And then right now I'm just connected to my garage, which is 110, so I can run a handful of things, but certainly not everything. We've got all the cords in there for that, which are included. They're all extension cords. So over there, there's actually about 30 feet of cord on there, which will get you pretty far, about 30 feet actually. And it will connect to in most cases, but if for some reason you happen to be in a campground, that your power connection's far away, there you go. You should be all set with everything. We've got what they call dog bones 2 in here, which are connections where you can go from 50 amp down to 30 amp or 30 amp up to, so there's all different connections for that. Here's some leveling blocks and some boards in here. You probably won't need those in terms of parking on, because we'll show you in another video how to put the jacks down and that sort of thing. You'll need the boards to put under the jacks. As you can see, we have them right here. So there's 4 jacks, 2 in the rear, 2 in the front, and you're going to want a board under those when you set them down. Even on concrete, you're going to always want to put a board under those. So I've got a couple of spares in case you were on a campground that was unlevel and you had to double or triple up a board for some reason. This is kind of fun right here. This is for, so my knees are not 20 years old anymore, and so sometimes when you're hooking some things up and you got to crawl around, you throw this rug stapled to a board, and down you go. It makes it a lot nicer on your knees. So that's a good little find for you. And then the only thing in this side that doesn't have to do with connecting is this big box here is full of pillows, and we had to, this was the only side that was big enough to put them in. So that's the walk around. I just want to show you one last thing about these doors. So these doors you do have to be careful with. They are metal, they are steel, they will bend if you abuse them. They're very easy to close, but just please don't slam them. The way to close them, get them down there, you pull the handle out and just tap them into place. Now once in a while you'll have one that'll kind of stick out on you. Well, this one happened to close. If you do see that it didn't latch, just a soft push and you'll hear the latch go, and these doors will be aligned for many years to come. So that's all there is for the outside for now. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.